I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Media, and right now we're live at SuitWorld 2019 in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're going to talk about fun, happiness, and some other things. We have here
Ellie,
and
Sarah,
and what's the name of your company?
Elope.
Elope. And why is it called Elope? When I was Googling it, I wasn't sure if I should put like on a image, image like checker or something like that. But tell us, what's Elope all about?
Elope stands for Everybody's Laughing on Planet Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, so we like to share laughter and wear happiness. And the things we wear are the things we make, which are whimsical wearables. Oh,
got it. Okay. And what was the genesis for the company? Why start the company?
So two brothers started it 25 years ago in their basement, right? I feel isn't 26? That where NetSuite started
yes, of
as
course.
well?
Yes, something like that.
And they started selling hats in a mall, and they really saw quickly that the crazy hats, these jesters and stuff, were the ones that were selling the best. And so they essentially just grew and grew and grew that side of the business, and here we are today. You know, it's now a much larger company and have our own warehouse and distribution center in the U.S. and international. Okay,
and Sarah, I want to talk to you about fun, but one more question. If you can you talk about the company, a bit size of the company now, or is that okay, the range or employees? Or just
so we have about 45 employees now, as well as a relationship with a factory in China that produces only our product.
Are they fun people there in that factory?
They're very fun, yeah. They also wear and share happiness.
Okay. So Sarah, let's talk about this aspect of fun. I mean, again, it's a big topic, and there's a lot of, I've suffered with depression and things. We won't down the video interview right now. We'll go back up real quick. But I've suffered with it. But let's talk about this aspect.
I am currently there as well.
Okay, good. So no getting over it. This aspect of fun and excitement and laughing, why is it so important? Why do you want people to do that? I mean, what's that about? Help us understand this aspect of fun.
Well, fun translates to a lot of different aspects of one's life. And we, as Elope, try to instill fun in everything that we do, not just with the whimsical wearables and the super fun costume accessories, but we also inspire that joy and the laughter and the happiness in our employees. We don't like to use that word though. Our
what do you call them?
Elopians.
Oh, Elopians, okay.
Yes, the Elopians.
Okay, Elopians.
We are a family and a sense of community, and that community is extended past us into like the cosplay community and everyone that enjoys that laughter and that happiness, and we kind of that's our culture. We spread our culture. Our joy and our fun through our wearables. I'm
going to ask you a tough question. Is that okay?
Sure.
This is a tough question. See if Sarah can take it. If she can't, you'll back her up on that one.
Oh man, no pressure.
The aspect of what happens when something happens, your mom dies, you crash your car, something serious happens. Where does the Elopean theory of fun go in? Can you have fun in that, or is it time to put the fun aside? If you understand my question, both you can answer, but how do you deal with that in the company? Somebody says, oh, I cut my finger. Do you all start laughing in the company?
Or
do you stop laughing and just be like, I'm so sorry? What do you, just curious, how does fun work in a not so fun situation? What happens?
Well, it's about support and that sense of community and family and coming together and being there for one another, not just as a work family, but as human beings, and that's kind of how we view our general community and the whole world. And when it's appropriate,
of course,
we'll laugh, and we'll reinstill that joy and that laughter.
And I would like to think that those who are fun and can laugh could be the best people for comfort in times like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a time for everything, but what you really want is somebody who's going to be there for you in the good and the bad. And I think when you live at a workplace, or we all know what's going on in each other's lives, we're each other's friends, or we know each other's spouses and children, and we have dogs in the office. They're family too.
Are they fun dogs as well?
Oh, they're so
okay.
Yeah,
I make sure.
Some pretty good ones.
No downer dogs.
Good.
I don't know that this exists, but we haven't found one yet.
Okay.
I think spreading laughter is often the outcome of all of that foundation of having depth in relationships, where you can just really be there for each other and bring each other back to places of hope and joy.
Love it. Ellie, let's talk, please.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, one thing that kind of ties into this topic is that when we had that downturn in the economy a few years back, one would expect that costumes and accessories and fun things like this that are, to some people, very frivolous. You don't want to spend money on that. You don't want to, when you're tight on funds, you don't want to spend money on that stuff. However, we did not see a dip. because everyone needs these bits of happiness and whimsy in their lives, and if just putting on a headband with cat ears on it makes you smile during those dark times, it's all worth it.
Go for it, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk, Ellie, about the company a bit more about the, how are you? Tips on selling. Let's talk about that. Can you give us advice, especially to my audience of small business owners? You guys are selling fun through stuff. This kind of stuff. What are some tips you have for us on marketing? Instagram is it better, or do you have an email newsletter? Are you doing $1 billion Super Bowl ads? Give us a
many of those.
download on how you're getting the word out. Maybe it's SEO, I don't know, but give tech talk for a few minutes. Ask how you're doing and what we can learn from you.
I would say the top thing is that you have to be your brand, right? And so one thing you'll see around our office often is people wearing it. Yeah, you're right, not just around our office. So we are our costumes, we enjoy our costumes. We love designing them, but we love wearing them, we love testing them, and we love participating with the community and their reactions. So a lot of what we design, we do get ideas from our community. It's a very interactive, we kind of call it, our fan base. And so we're kind of together in that, in our cosplay community. And there's this great relationship, that community is just growing over time. And so I think when they see that we care, we're listening to their feedback, and then we can play back into it. They're part of it too. They're Elopians.
Yeah.
And so I think you have to really believe in what you're doing beyond just, you can't just make money. You can't just design good product even. You have to know that people are enjoying it.
Sarah, anything you want to add about this aspect of marketing and how you guys are doing it and what we can learn as small business owners? Anything you want to add to that?
Well, just to tie in with what Ellie was talking about, leveraging social media is a huge thing. We have tapped into what we call our super fans. So Facebook influencers, huge Instagram personalities to partner with, and they talk about our product and in a very relatable and way to their followers, and it really helps us build our brand because they're very much part of what our brand is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's been a big boost.
Okay. And then let's talk about hiring. And again, I should have asked what your roles were for the company. You can tell I'm really not a professional interviewer. But let's start there. What are your roles with the company? Then after you answer that, I want to get into hiring, because I'm sure that could be a part of working at Elope. But what are your roles in the company?
Currently, I'm a business analyst on our data team.
Got it.
And I'm the strategic analysis team lead.
Love it. Okay, both of these names sound really fun.
Data.
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah, data is fun.
Okay.
We're at NetSuite.
Good. Yes. And we're going to get into that third question. So last question, if you can answer it, let's talk about hiring. Just how do you, when you're looking to hire people, how do you make sure they're a cultural fit? How do you make sure they're the right people? Can boring people who hate fun ever work at Elope? I don't know.
Hopefully we can convert them.
Okay.
But, it is funny. It's the first place I've worked where you can't just look at a resume and know people have the right skill set and that's enough.
Yes.
You need to know they're a fit to the family. You need to know that they're going to walk into a situation that maybe is difficult and be somebody that's going to bring a level of, we're in this together, we can figure this out. Personality, I feel like in my role there, I've realized the switch a little bit, and that personality may be more important than skills. Skills can be learned.
Yes, absolutely.
Personality is difficult sometimes to change too much.
And aptitudes.
Yes, and so I think we ask a lot of questions about, we ask a lot of funny questions.
Okay.
If you had to be an animal, who would you be? That's an interview question.
I'd be a lion.
Why?
I'd be a lion because I just like, it's like a chill. I like to move. When you all the other animals moving like idiots, the lion's like just, I'm the man or the lady, just boom, boom.
I got this.
Boom. So that's why I like the lion. Or maybe a bear. That's just me. I'm just not like a mosquito type person, an ant person. What about you all? I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
I caught her off. She
right,
answered that in
I
an interview
wasn't
question 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of, I had 5 interviews before I was hired. 5
Wow.
interviews. Yes, we take culture
They wanted to
very
make sure the
seriously.
fun level was there.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not just about fun, I will say. It
I
seems like talking to us, we only hire extroverted, super fun, out there people, but no. It's
You're running a business, so I get it.
Yeah.
Since you're both in the analysis side of the world,
Yes.
let's talk a bit about the importance maybe you'll surprise me and say it's not important. I think you'll say it's important, of NetSuite to your company. If you didn't have NetSuite, what would it be like? And now that you do have it, let's talk about that a bit. CRM, well, how are you using it, maybe is the first question.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through a day in the life of Elope and either of you of what it's like, how you're using NetSuite in your business?
Sure. So we went live with NetSuite about 1.5 years ago.
Congratulations, your newbies.
Yes. And we do everything from financials to we have a warehouse, all the sales orders, all the orders from China. Everything goes through NetSuite.
Okay.
I would say the biggest reason we switched to it and the best thing it's done for us is integration. So we had, especially with our B2C, it talks to Amazon, it talks to Walmart, it talks to our website. Everything is in one place.
Got it.
And so without that, you don't really know what's going on, right? You don't have a view of your business. So we were spending so much time quote unquote band-aiding things that we weren't actually focused on growth or on improvement or on who we were. It was taking away from our ability to just really focus on doing our jobs better and getting to more people.
And did you have a competing offering before that, or were you just mixing together different specialized, customized databases? Give us a vision. You don't have to name a product unless you want to, but give us a vision of what it was like before. Just was it another competing product, or was it just okay? So it wasn't. So you were trying it still. But I wasn't sure if you were using Excel and sticky notes.
No.
Okay, so you were trying to do something.
Yes.
But that particular product you're using just wasn't cutting it.
Well, and we were with this company, Sage, for 10 years.
Okay.
I think when we went with them, they were great.
Sure. Many companies are.
I think maybe they didn't move to the cloud like a lot of companies have, and therefore this integration with online platforms was just very painful. But everything's possible.
Got it.
But not necessarily good.
And Evan alluded to that in some of his comments. I mean, he mentioned QuickBooks a few times.
Yes.
No shame, meaning it's a great product. He mentioned it. But as you grow, and it comes time, like you're mentioning, integration and cloud and talking to vendors, you just got to put the big girl pants on and or whatever you want to call it. So my words, not theirs. And use a product like NetSuite is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Another aspect that really has helped us immensely with switching to NetSuite is all of the possible automation and simplifying the processes and cutting out all of the steps that we were doing with the other CRM that we were using, taking out a lot of the manual work.
And automation, for example, can you give us a day in the life of like somebody hits a button? Give us an example. Make it up or real. Just help us understand what kind of how that works. Automation as an example.
One thing that we recently implemented, our finance team recently implemented, was automating sending out past due invoices.
Okay.
That was something that took a lot of man hours.
That's an important thing, by the way.
Yes, that is money. That's good. Yes. And cutting out the hours that were spent doing that has been a huge time saver. It's freed up the team to work on furthering the automation process and figuring out how to streamline more of their processes.
And then help us understand who's supporting that as best you can. Again, talking to people who are thinking of switching. Ramon, we hear your interview with Ellie and Sarah. We're outgrowing our company, etc. How many people does it take? Was the switch difficult? As best you can in 30 seconds. But what was that like, Ellie? What was it?
Sure.
What does it take to support what you're doing now in NetSuite? Obviously, you two, and are there 1,000 others?
There's
in the car out there.
It doesn't. It's actually 3 of us.
Okay.
None of us full time. We do other things as well. So maybe half time, but that even seems like too much. A great thing about NetSuite is so much of it is more user friendly. So when we talk about like day-to-day reports and stuff, we have a lot of people in the company that aren't necessarily like data people that can create their own.
They hit a button and they know what they need to know for their
click and drag.
slice.
I need this in a column. I need this, and so it really has taken a lot of the kind of menial data work off of our team, so that we really can be freed up to more of this automation with NetSuite. So it's not just us that it helps. I think it helps the whole company.
Yeah, and sometimes we get siloed, I think, Sarah, and we think that it's for the techies only, but what I'm hearing, I think it's a great point, is that these technology tools, NetSuite or otherwise, we geeks get it, but it's for, we love you all, but so has less people knocking on our door.
Yes.
Very much. Yeah, it is very user-friendly, and it's, especially with the save searches and now with the Suite Analytics that is part of the new release, it's going to be even more easy for more members of the team that aren't necessarily super tech savvy or masters at Excel or any of that to really understand the data that they need
Awesome.
to build it.
And it's pretty.
It's pretty.
Okay.
You know, like some of these older systems are kind of painful to look at. So dashboards.
And it takes the fun away, then that means a
yeah,
little,
it's, yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, the implementation was pretty good too, I will say.
Everybody will tell you implementing an ERP is painful.
Yeah.
And there were parts of it that
course.
worked.
Yeah.
But it was actually fairly seamless. Yeah.
Love it. I'm so glad you're with me. One more time, give us your full name, and we know the company you're with. Elope. Full name, please.
Yes, Ellie Rustenbach.
Awesome.
Sarah Natek.
Awesome. And I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Media, and we've been laughing with Elope, all about technology and growing businesses.
All right.
See ya.